Hello, my name is Philip Diab, and I want to welcome you to my first videocast on my blog. I thought today I would talk about an important subject, and that is hiring project managers. This is perhaps an area that often is overlooked by managers and sometimes is seen as simply an administrative activity, and yet the impact of it is very strategic on the organization. A few years ago, I was involved in a search for project managers. Our organization needed to hire 3 individuals to lead strategic projects for our company. And shortly after the listing, we got about 2,400 resumes and applications for these 3 positions. Fortunately, I was daunted with the task of having to go through all these resumes to determine which ones are worthy candidates, at least for the first cut. And it was a daunting task because, after all, we didn't have a whole lot of time. We needed to have these project managers hired and deployed as soon as possible. And the discovery was pretty shocking. Out of the 2,400, we found 9 individuals that met the criteria for the project manager position. And even after we interviewed them, we found only 2 that we were interested in hiring. So what I wanted to share with you is that the hiring project managers is actually a process. And in order to effectively do that, we have to establish a step-by-step approach to ensure success at the end. We start the process by asking ourselves about the needs. What is it that we're looking for? What type of experience, what type of skill set, and how is it going to be matched? In other words, what are the roles and responsibilities that this individual is going to be performing once they are on board? When we have that clear, then we can establish a selection criteria, in other words, a filter whereby we can identify which candidates meet that criteria and which ones don't. And once we do that, then we can begin the process of engaging potential candidates, ones who have made the cut beyond the first round, as it were. The challenge that we find when hiring people, though, is that sometimes an individual may look perfect on paper, but when we see them face to face, we discover that something is not right. And unfortunately, even after we hire an individual, there is no guarantee that that individual is going to be the right fit for the organization. That's why, as part of that process, we want to identify a time where that individual, that professional, can come in and talk to different team members as well as stakeholders to see if there is a strategic fit, if that person, their background, their experience matches and integrates with the culture of the organization. I recall probably on my first project management interview, I was applying for a project manager position, and the hiring manager shared with me that she had just basically let go an individual that she'd hired the month before. And the reason was that after that person came in and did a great job in the interview, seemed to like everybody and everybody liked them, their first week on the job, they pretty much cried every day because they didn't know how to handle the pressure of the job. So even if we have that rigorous process in place, sometimes luck enters into the factor, and we have to figure out how to balance that. Very much like project risks. This type of risk is a risk that we can't avoid, but by having a clear process, hopefully we can mitigate it so that the impact is not one that is disastrous on the organization. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Until next time, I'm Philip Diab. Thanks.